What is up, everybody out there in the Octane Outlaws world? We are coming at you live here from qualifying. We are in round 7 at Atlanta, and yeah, we're gonna get things underway tonight with hopefully a nice clean race. We saw what happened last week. Raymond Mull is our first one to qualify in the 18 machine. A pretty respectable time there. Justin Potts right behind him. The 01 machine. And as we kick things off tonight, we just want to say, let's keep it clean tonight, boys. We have a lot of laps to go, 135 to be exact here at Atlanta. I think it's at Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta. My brain is not wanting to work today. Yep, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here we are. Race info going up right now for you so we can all see it right on the screen. Atlanta Motor Speedway, mile and a half track, oval. Got that slight little curve there at the bottom. Coming across the home stretch. We are quite cool tonight. We are 126 degree track temp, but 79 degree weather. So air temp's looking pretty good, but we are toasty on track, so you might see a little bit of rear end slipping, sliding going on. We don't like seeing that because that means more caution. So let's see if these drivers can hold it together for their sessions. Dakota Cleveland coming across the 11 machine right there. I am trying to update paints because Dakota said he has a new paint that we got to see. So I am trying to get that all figured out. It's great that my trading paints is not responding. It always happens, you know, when the time has come and we got to see everything out on track. Trading paints, SDK, whatever it is, just doesn't like us. See, Frederick Larson, 77 the machine, looking good this week. He looked good last week. He had a pretty good finish for his first start. Still feeling like a cowboy in the NASCAR Next Gen Ford. We have Corey Buchanan coming to his stop. He is up in 5th right now. See what Larson can put down for a time. Larson up into 1st. He is tied with Bobby Blowers. Wow, what a good time from the I'll call him a rookie because he is a rookie to everything oval. Richard Kreuzer here. Kreuzer coming across in 4th. Lily Frazier just came across in 8th there. Let's jump Noah Miller. Noah Miller's normally a quick driver for us, and he's just coming out of the pits, it looks like. And he is running in the Lucas number 8 car there from Melbourne, Florida. Yep, Dakota's in the Wonder Bread this week, so let's see. Like I said, we're trying to get the trading paints updated. I know Corey was having some issues earlier as well. Trying to get the Wonder Bread paint to load for his screen, so let's see if we can't get it up for ours. I'm doing some background tweaking here, trying to get things running. But Noah Miller, he's normally one of our faster drivers. Let's see if he can't get up there. No, Miller comes across. He was in 12th there. Better time. He's in 5th now. And Noah Miller, one of the only cars out on track. David Guiman out there. as we see him in 14th. 9/10 back, we should see a better lap time from him. Number 10, Fabricator X Machine. He jumps up into 10th. See, TJ Hanley, he is normally one of our, I don't want to say mid, he's top 5 driver. He's just getting out and moving on his first hot lap, it looks like. And so far, Larson still the time to beat. Just ahead of Bobby Blowers by, looks like 1/100th of a second. TJ Hanley coming across, though. What's he able to pop into? Still 15th. Got to get those tires warmed up. He's coming around for his second hot lap now. Looks like Rodney Roberts is out doing some laps as well. Roberts hasn't popped in a time yet. TJ Hanley coming down the stretch. Let's see what he can finish off with. As we give our trading paints a refresh, some white paint on the car there for just a second, but that should get us all up to date on our trading paints here. Hanley is, oh, he does take pole from Larson there. Larson now in second. TJ Hanley able to cut that track quite thin there on the inside, but you know, a bunch of drivers, our top 10 are within a tenth of each other. Top 11 are within a tenth of each other, and then the others are only 2/10 off. You know, with a little bit of draft, a little bit of bumping, we might see some drivers that are really pushing up through the field. Alex Coffey just getting out on track now. We'll see what he can throw down. He is been proving that he is our pole runner for the time being. Interstate Batteries number 54 there. He's qualified pole last couple races. He's only won one race though for us, so it hasn't been a dominating effort on the finishes, but poles, Coffee is the man. Let's see him getting up to speed here, taking that midline. Oh no, as he blows his engine. I'm not sure what happened. He might have bumped his shifter and shifted down into a lower gear. Maybe he wasn't liking his line and he decided to destroy the car. But Michael Moquin here in the 5 machine coming across. Moquin jumps up to 5th. Great time for Moquin. He's gonna be happy with that. Kyle Heath, he's also running some good times on his outlap here. And Heath, we know at the end there, had a little bit of trouble in Martinsville. Almost got taken out and would have had Buchanan, or not Buchanan, Cleland chasing him down, but Heath jumps up to... No, he's down at 18th. Maybe that was his very first outlap. If it was, he was moving pretty quick for just being an outlap, but let's see how he does. I'm not sure if Coffee has an EOL, and that's why he's not qualifying. Tommy Thompson definitely does. Keith Ramsey and Blaine Wilson, not sure about them. Missing a couple cars, looks like today. But Kyle Heath now up into 6th place. Heath does a fantastic job of getting us up there as, oh yeah, he got across the line just in time. 10 minutes has hit. We are done with qualifying. And we will move on to our gridding for the race. I'm not sure if it's a broadcast curse or if he has the EOL. Or if he was just not liking his lap and he really wanted to, you know, just get the car to stop so he can reset to try and get a good lap. But whatever it was, just wasn't having it. He just threw it in, blew his engine, and slid down pit road. So we'll see what happens here. As we're just going to focus here on Frederick Larson for the moment and these top cars. TJ Hanley's going to be leading us out for the first time this season. Let's see if we can't see that number 11 car of... Sorry, it looks like I had a little bit of a lag there where I was reconnecting. So if there's any sort of skipping or, you know, jumps going on, just let me know in the comments. I'm trying to watch it as best I can, but I'm also watching the race and commenting on it. So as we're lined up here, don't want to forget race info here. We're going 135 laps, brought to you by Soaphouse Painting Co. Out of Wisconsin. Anything that needs painted real life, go to Soaphouse Painting Co. TH Designs is the virtual painter of choice that we have here in the league. He does a lot of the designs for some of the cars here in the league, and he is up in pole today, TJ Hanley, in his TH Designs 08 machine. So if anybody needs a car painted, go to TJ. He'll get you all settled out. If not, you need something real life painted, go to Soaphouse Painting Co. in Wisconsin. As we get ourselves going here on the grid, all pulling out of the pit lane there. Larson on the outside, Handley in first, Bobby Blowers in third, Ronnie Roberts in fourth, Michael Moquin in fifth, Kyle Heath in sixth, Justin Potts in seventh, Patrick Mitrovic in eighth, Richard Kreuzer in ninth, Noah Miller in 10th, William Smith in 11th, George Buck in 12th, Corey Buchanan in 13th, David Guiman in 14th, Lily Frazier in 15th, Dakota Cleland in 16th, Raymond Mulsiner in 17th, Zachary Steele 18th, Blaine Wilson 19th, Alex Coffey 20th, Tommy Thompson in 21st, and Keith Ramsey is not on the track. He is here, but he's not on the track, so not sure what's going on with Keith Ramsey. But here we go, getting ready to go green. I'll show our starting order right here. 34 getting right up on the bumper of TJ Hanley here. Larson, let's see if he can keep up. Larson, he looks a little bit far back. There we go, we are green. Great jump there from TJ Hanley. And he is at least a couple car lengths ahead of the rest of the field there. And he is off to the races here, everybody. We are live here at Atlanta, led by TJ Hanley, Bobby Blowers, and Frederick Larson. Oh, and we do have a crash right away. And wow, that was fairly quick. We had some drivers get into each other here. Not sure what happened to cause that. Obviously, cold tires, hot track, you know, you're real slippery to start off a race, but let's see if we can't find who is the cause of this first yellow. I don't think we're going to hit 24 cautions like we did last week at Martinsville, but we will figure out where we are on our wrecks here. And it looks like, ooh, Mitrovic might have just gotten into the wall there. Let's glue him in there. Go back a tiny bit more. A few seconds maybe. I'm gonna jump on board with Mitrovic. He looked like he was the start of this. And ooh, him and Rodney Roberts just get together ever so slightly, and that's what causes the jumble up in the field. And then ooh, Zachary Steele flying around a little bit. They're just trying to keep these cars from getting into the wall, and you can see that's going to be a lot of damage there for Mitrovic, for obviously number 10 of David Guimond, and then Zachary Steele, number 39, got a pretty good whack there by Patrick Mitrovic. Let's see if we can't see different angle for it. I'll see if we can't find a cockpit view here somewhere. This is Mitrovic and Roberts, and Mitrovic just, yep, gets pulled over into the front end of Roberts there, and is just trying to keep it straight so he's not taking anybody out. Slamming the brakes might slide him up into the wall, might slide him into somebody, so he's just trying to keep it together. There he goes, just trying to get it back forward. Not a whole lot of steering left and right with these cars. Let's jump live and see where Patrick is sitting now. Back in 21st, 1 lap down. That's not good for Patrick. TJ Hanley there, though. Mitrovic should get a wave around, either him or Ramsey. No, it's just him. So Mitrovic should get a wave around for being the lucky dog. And that should get him back on the main lap, you would think, here coming up. I mean, lights are off. Not sure if Mitrovic is going to get the wave. He might have already gotten a wave around, but it might have been too late when he came out of the pits from his damage being repaired. That's a little odd. Unless Zachary Steele was the one that got the wave around. Yeah, Zachary Steele did. He is catching up to the field now, so that was why we only have 1 lap, or 1 car that's a lap down. Zachary got his lap back. Let's see how we do going live here again. Saw Larson drop down 2 positions. Our big loser, obviously, Rodney Roberts here, getting into it with Mitrovic, and Mitrovic's getting into it as well. 14 positions lost for Mitrovic, 13 for Rodney Roberts. Everybody else has gone up quite a few. Kyle Heath down 8 positions. George Buck down 4. Guimin down 2. Essentially everybody that's involved in that wreck. Blaine Wilson is only up 1. He avoided the wreck, but he gained 1 position in the process. Only one that stayed put is Richard Kreuzer. Up 8 is Raymond Mull Sr. Up 7 to Lily Frazier. And another one up 7 is Tommy Thompson, number 7. But here we go. We're going to be going green again. And Frederick Larson, not a good start there for him. TJ Hanley gets a huge jump. Bobby Blowers and Michael Mockwin, they are really trying to catch on up to TJ Hanley here. TJ really putting on a show with his starts and with his nice qualifying pace that we saw. As the leaders come on by, Moquin up 2 positions from his good qualifying start. You can see a couple cars electing to go high, save their tires. That is Corey Buchanan and number 8, and Noah Miller. You might actually get a little bit more speed down the straight here. CJ Hanley's getting a little bit of a bump. You can see number 34, Bobby Blowers, really trying to just get up behind Hanley. And Hanley, you know, a little bit of a bump ain't too bad. Yeah, a little bump right there. Let's see if we take a closer look at the bumping going on here. But you can separate yourself from a field if you have somebody pushing you and somebody that is, you know, right behind you if you're up in front. You know, getting that draft from you, they're pushing you. It just helps both of you guys out, having a drafting partner like that. You see just 4 cars there, starting with Noah Miller, Corey Buchanan. Looks like number 11 of Dakota Cleland. I can't tell which car that is. That might be Moquin there in the number 5. No, number 5's down low, so that must be Justin Potts in the 01 machine. And Potts is going to be running that high line as well. Like I said, a few cars holding that high line. Dakota holding it very well. Corey Buchanan kind of like a mid to high line. And these guys are going to try and catch up. No Miller here, though. These 3, Miller, Blowers, and Hanley, going to be pushing each other, trying to get away from this pack. Big loser right now, Frederick Larson. He is cycling back into the field. Being a rookie, he's got to learn these. He's quick on the pace. We saw it last week in Martinsville. He was top 5, second here today. But got to work on those starts and work on those, you know, the pack racing that we got going on here. Save those tires, keep them cool. Run that outside line maybe. You see all these guys on the outside passing them. Maybe hop up into there. Rodney Roberts doing the same. You know, he's recovering from a wreck. Maybe, you know, keep your nose out of trouble for the beginning of a race. You know, just try and keep out of the way, as most of our drivers are running that high line. Other big losers, Patrick Mitrovic in the back here. Oh, and we do have a big wreck. We just missed it as we jumped away. Number 19, Corey Buchanan. Number 28, looks like, of George Buck. Blaine Wilson gets through. Richard Kreuzer, Justin Potts, Mo Quinn. George Buck is trying to get going again. Corey Buchanan going to have to reset to the pits. Keith Ramsey, obviously, out of the race. Never started the race. David Guiman, he is safe. So, a couple positions gained for Cleland, Steele. Rodney Roberts back up in the 4th. Noah Miller sitting in 2nd right now in the 8 car. Let's see what happened here. As we jump to the back of the pack there to check out some of the guys running in the back, we have big wreck. And there we go. Oh, it looks like just getting into each other a little bit. Mo Quinn there. They will go a few seconds farther back. And we'll go to Mo Quinn. It's up here. You can just see, yeah, Mo Quinn just gets a little bit into Zachary Steele, it looks like, and that just sets off a chain reaction. Corey Buchanan here. You see the cars in front of him here. That'll be Mo Quinn getting into. Yeah, just a little bit of netcode maybe. And Buchanan gets turned, and he is a victim of a not so fun crash when you know, a little bit of netcode's involved. Hate seeing that. And he just can't even get it moving. His drive shaft is either broken or his wheels are so bent up off the ground that he just can't get himself moving again. But we join our leader, TJ Hanley, in the 08, Noah Miller in the 8, and Dakota Cleland in 3rd right now, up 13 positions in 3rd. Larson in 4th, Raymond Mull in 5th. Exciting start. We're 12 laps in. Couple cautions. This is kind of expected out of the 1.5 miles. Normally you get a couple, you know, here and there, but nothing like we saw in Martinsville, which was around, I want to say it was around 175 out of 250 laps were pacing laps. It was something crazy like that. But 24 laps, or 24 cautions out of 250 laps. We had a 50 lap sprint essentially at the end that we ended up having, but it was a nightmare, we'll say. So far, much better here, but let's see if anybody has hopped down into the pit in our top 8. It's like Guiman's the only one who had to pit after the lap 2 incident. Get his fast repair, get his tires. I might not have gotten tires, might have just gotten some fuel. We'll have to see in the long run how that plays out for him. Everybody else, though, staying out in those top few cars. Hanley, Miller, Cleveland, Larson, Smith. Lights are out on the pace car, so we will get moving again here. Just a moment. Hanley still has the green flag for us. Pole sitter still up in 1st, which is great to see. Means he is running very consistently. Not just fast in quali, but fast on the track. As pace car pulls down into the pit lane, Hanley has our green flag. And there he goes. He is off. He gets a good jump there on Noah Miller and Dakota Cleland there. And he is 4 or 5 car lengths ahead of Miller. Looks like Larson on the outside line. Cleland on the inside. Miller and Hanley pull away ever so slightly. Ooh, almost a 3 wide there for Rodney Roberts. Gotta watch out on that. That's how you start getting these 1 lap and 2 lap goes, and then you have another caution. So gotta be able to run side by side. It looks like Roberts is going to be pushing up behind Frederick Larson. Dakota Cleland on the inside, number 18 of Raymond Mull right behind him. And we see some action going on here. Frederick Larson just falling into this top pack. Actually, he looks like he's moving fairly quick here on the outside, going for the pass on Cleland. But these top four are pulling away just a little bit, giving a little bit of a gap to the cars behind them. Raymond Mull, Rodney Roberts here fighting side by side. Behind them, and Frederick Larson looking like he's going that high line, testing it out. You're seeing that Rodney Roberts, Dakota Cleland earlier. He might have had Zachary. Oh, nope, that's just a leaving the pits. We saw some high line runners earlier. We don't really have any right now. Everybody's kind of like a low to a mid. And we do have a lapped car coming up. Looks like that might be Justin Potts. George Buck. Nope. Corey Buchanan. Zachary Steele. That's who it is. Gonna have to stay up and out of the way from these cars. Does not want to get run in the back of by one of the faster cars here. Not sure what's going on with Steele, if he's having some troubles, having some issues here. As the main pack of cars gets by. And we're looking clean here for the moment. 3 wide right here. Rodney Roberts, Dakota Cleland, and Frederick Larson. Frederick Larson down low. Dakota Cleland is the, you could say, the meat of the sandwich, when he should be the bread of the sandwich in his Winterbread car there. And number 12, Rodney Roberts, up high on that really high line. It's hard to go 3 wide, and ooh, as you see, Rodney Roberts just touching the outside quarter panel of Dakota Cleland. We have another 3 wide going on behind. Right there, looks like number 53 of Heath, 71 of Frazier, and the 10 of Guymond as they come across the line. 3 wide, then 3 wide, then 2 wide. I'm getting some great racing action here. This is a... Oh, we got 3 wides going on now. Ooh, can they hold it together? Somebody is bumping. Kyle Heath and Lily Frazier there might have been getting together. Yeah, we have 3 wides going on there. 3 wides going on there. And that's just crazy. That's really hard to hold, let alone having 3 different separate ones holding at the same time with gaps closing on all 3 of them. That's incredible here driving from these guys in the Octane Outlaws. We're just going to jump to a different TV camera. See TJ Hanley here. Oh, no, and we see in the back Patrick Mitrovic's off again. And there's our 3rd caution of the night. Let's see what happened there. Blaine Wilson crash is what my analysis is showing here. Yep, let's jump on board. Blaine Wilson, where is he? There he is. Blaine Wilson here. Oh, he gets pushed. He's getting pushed by Alex Coffey. Just a little too much coming out of the corner there. You don't want to be pushing too much out of the corner. You can push down the straight, but you get too close, you're going to either hit net code while you're turning, or you're going to have a bad time when your rear end kicks out, just like Blaine Wilson's did there. Coffey keeps going, gains a position, but doesn't like hitting his teammate like that. Try jumping back again, seeing from Coffey's point of view. We'll jump a little farther back. And we'll jump to a cockpit view here for you. Alex Coffey here, just getting right up behind the bumper. Looks like Blaine Wilson might have lost it a tiny bit and had to let off just to get his rear end under control. And Coffey just pushes right up into the back of him. Just keeps going. Maybe a little front end damage. We'll see if that affects Coffey throughout the race. If his pace stays the same. But we did have a bunch of drivers in the pit lane here. Rodney Roberts, Patrick Mitrovic, Richard Kreuzer, Alex Coffey, Blaine Wilson. All coming down the pit lane. Looked like we had a bunch of the leaders come down. Frazier had come down on lap 11. Thompson's still out. women come down earlier. Yeah, so some of our drivers that were up front, Cleland, Larson, Heath, it's like he just pitted a few laps ago, so he should be all clear. So yeah, it looks like Cleland, Larson, Mull, Moquin, Potts, Kreuzer. We have Wilson as well, just pit. Coffee just pit for obvious reasons. And then Rodney Roberts and Patrick Mitrovic are still in the pits getting repairs done. Both of them have had bad nights. Looks like Rodney Roberts is out of the pit lane now, coming out on his out lap. Mitrovic might be in trouble here just because I think we only have one fast repair, and he obviously in that first caution had that fast repair used after he hit the wall and hit a couple other cars pinballing around. So he's gonna have to have actual repair time, and we'll see if he gets back out on track at all, if he's able to, you know, catch up to these guys here in the main lap, which we're on lap 23 of 120 or of 135. We do have stage cautions at lap 45 and lap 90, so these guys that are a little farther behind have a lap down. They'll have a chance to catch back up, get a lucky dog position to go back around and, you know, get back on that main lap. And for those who do not know what lucky dog is, right now our lucky dog position is George Buck, number 28 car. He is the first of all the cars that are not on the main lap. So everybody else is on lap 23. George Buck is on lap 22. Or lap 24, and George Buck's on lap 23. George Buck will get the opportunity to go back around and catch back up and, you know, get his lap that he's down gained back, because he is the farthest closest one to being on the main lap. So we'll see him. Oh no, he might have already gone around once. But we had lights out. I didn't even realize lights are out. Lily Frazier leads us. Getting us started here. Number 71. Outlaws car there. Bobby Lowe's right behind Lily Frazier. Tommy Thompson in number 3. Or number 7 in 3rd. Up 17 positions, 18 positions from where he was. TJ Handley here, though. Handley on a fresh set of tires. Thompson on a fresh set of tires. So they both should be really flying here. Lily Frazier and Bobby Blower should... they might have a little bit warmer tires, broken in a little bit more, but the longevity of Handley and Thompson should outlast those two. Lily Frazier, though, new this week to the Octane Outlaws. And that 71 machine is a Ford that we are seeing. We see them come around from the TV tower here. Gotta love that sound when they fly by like that. Frazier still leading by Blowers in second. Ooh, a little turn there from TJ Handley into looks like maybe Tommy Thompson. And we are going to have a safety car here. Big wreck, big wreck, big wreck. We just saw it. Ooh, he might not be able to get going here. Justin Potts having a reset to the pits. A lot of cars getting so damaged they have to reset to the pit lane. Tommy Thompson, same way. Front end is mess up. Patrick Mitrovic just coming out of the pit lane. He is on lap 22. We're on lap 29. So Mitrovic is going to have 6 laps to catch up, 7 laps to catch on up. Let's see what happened here. That was up towards the front. Don't like seeing that, but... Tommy Thompson involved here. Looks like the number 8 just gets pushed by Handley and gets thrown to the inside, and Thompson just can't hold the brake. Not sure if he was holding the brake or not. It looked like his tires were spinning. You normally want to hold the brake there just so you're more predictable on track and you see what's happening. Let's jump to Tommy Thompson here. Hop on board. As he gets turned into here. Oh, he's just trying to get going. You gotta just hold the brakes there. Otherwise you cause a bigger wreck. That's a rough one there for Thompson. Unfortunate having to reset to the pits there. Looks like that caught a couple people out. Tommy Thompson, Justin Potts. There's our lucky dog going around now. Looks like that is George Buck, like we had said before. And Kelly says that's what NASCAR did years ago to keep drivers from racing back to the line after a caution was thrown. Yeah, the lucky dog, I mean, it's, you know, it's a safety measure, like Kelly just said. You know, it keeps the guys from racing back to the line to get back behind the safety car. If you're in front of the leader, they normally wave you around if you are a lapped car. So if you're a lapped car and the field wrecks and the leader's having a little trouble, you're going to be trying to race the leader to get back up to the front so then you can get yourself unlapped. So a safety precaution just makes it a little easier. You get unlapped, you get that position back. George Buck is going to be happy. He's back on the main lap now. Everybody else on the main lap except for Rodney Roberts is going to get going here. Let's see if he can beat the pace car out. I think he will be able to. He gets out. Pace car fairly close on his right, but he's clear. Go around Corey Buchanan. 1 lap down. Steele 2 laps down. Thompson is 2 laps down, getting repairs. Potts 2 laps down, getting repairs. Mitrovic's 6 laps down. As we come to the backstretch, lights are out, so we will be going green this lap. I wish I had more interesting tidbits about the history of NASCAR. Kelly obviously does. So thank you for that little bit of information, Kelly. Lily Frazier, though, leading us. Once again, Lily new to the Octane Outlaws League as of this week. We're week 7. I think we're going to be doing 12 weeks, if I remember correctly. 10 or 12. So we have not too many races for Lily to catch up in points, but get the experience and getting into the league here. As we have Lily Frazier and Bobby Blowers, both running the same kind of Outlaws skin there. As Lily gets a good jump here, TJ Hanley right behind, trying to keep up. You have Bobby Blowers and Kyle Heath on the outside. Frederick Larson and looks like Blaine Wilson right there as well. Heath holding on here, getting a good push on Hanley. Lily Frazier slowing down on the inside line there. Not sure why. Maybe waiting for a drafting partner here with Bobby Blowers. As they're coming up to, looks like Tommy Thompson in number 7. He is going to be in the way. As Lily just tries to get out. Up and around, and that's going to really hurt the times of Lily, Blowers, Larson, whoever's behind on that inside line is going to have to go out and around. Normally you see that car that's lapped up a little higher out of the way. Not going to be causing anybody to have to swerve out of the way or get out of the way, especially on the low line, coming with a lot of speed. You want to be out of the way up high, but he's going to cycle back into the pack here. It looks like Tommy Thompson. TJ Hanley leading us again. Kyle Heath in second. Michael Moquin in third. Blaine Wilson in fourth. We got a good race going on here today. Don't really know who's going to come out on top, who's going to have a, you know, just a bad wreck, who's going to have a little bit of luck on their side. Remember, lap 45, we have a stage, so in 10 laps, we will see a caution be thrown, just so there are no surprises. Now that we're starting to run a little bit, let's pop our top graphic on, TH Designs banner, as Wilson takes the lead from TJ Hanley just for a moment. Kelly, you're not old. I know you're young at heart. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching these and hanging out with us on a Friday night. Getting some esports action going on here. But Wilson and Coffee and Heath all pushing on that high outside line, really trying to help each other out as teammates here. It's looking like Wilson is going to just stay out front. Interstate Batteries. I don't know if they're sponsoring these guys now, but 2 out of the 3 cars right now are Interstate Batteries cars in the 20 and the 54, running opposite schemes, a black with green lightning and a green with black lightning. Uh-oh. Not sure what's going on there. We have a little bit of a blink, maybe? That was crazy. We saw a front hood fly off. We saw, look like wheels starting to come off. I think it might have been Lily Frazier's car that blinked like that. Not quite sure. Yeah, not sure at all, but yeah, we're still racing. You hate to see blinking going on, you know, with such close racing. Blinking is the... Oh, maybe it was Larson. But blinking is the bane of a lot of drivers' existence, because blinking can really make or break a race, and it's literally just, you know, having some bad ping. But this pack is staying together very well. Normally on these mile and a halves, you start seeing, you know, these drivers get stretched out a bit. Start seeing 1 or 2 people that really start pulling away. Right now, we're still in a line of 2 lines of cars that are all on the main lap, all having a good time keeping up with each other. All within 1.1 second, the top 12 drivers. A couple others fell off. Might have been part of that netcode incident that we had. Maybe he's Guymond. No, he's in the pits. And Larson having a hard time. Mull having a hard time. Kreuzer having a hard... No, he's in the back of the pack, but... A couple drivers having a real hard time there. But Blaine Wilson, like you said, Alex Coffey, really working well together. Giving a bump. Coffee is, from what I was hearing in practice, Coffee is a really good push to help get up into a higher position on the track. Which isn't easy to do. I mean, I would almost argue it's harder to push than it is to find the draft of somebody and to keep in the draft of somebody in front of you. It's harder to push that person than to just get in the draft and, you know, get that little bit extra speed. Because you have to get close enough. You have to be able to bump draft when you need, but also not bump draft in the wrong spots. We saw it already with Coffey and Wilson going around, I think it was turn 2. Coffee had a little bit too much of a run on Wilson. Wilson had to let up just a tiny bit at the same time, and it just ended up being a not so great mixture there for the drivers. As we're coming to lap 45, caution thrown. That is our first stage complete. Guys will bunch back up, get going again. Everybody will get kind of sorted out. We'll see everybody. Hopefully a couple cars get back on the main lap here. Right now, 14 of them on the main. That's a pace car. Wow, the pace car went flying by. Blaine Wilson gonna go try and catch it. But wow, that pace car went flying by there. Uh-oh, George Buck crashed during that yellow. This was after the yellow was thrown. Oh, he just comes to a stop? Not sure why. Reset? Maybe it said wait for the pace car? I don't know. He's just off the track now. That's crazy. Bunch of cars coming into the pits. Hanley, Blowers, Roberts, Moquin, Heath, Miller, Larson, Kreuzer, Smith, Wilson, Frazier, Cleland, Mull Sr. Yep, the number 11 car right here. There he is. Wonder Bread. The bread that makes you wonder. The real wonder is why he ran this skin at this track and not Talladega or Daytona. You know, any of the big super speedways. That's where you got to run it. Maybe he's just testing it out, seeing how we all like it here on the stream. And there it is, right on the back. I want to go fast. We'll take a quick look at it. Notice this isn't our normal view here, but I want to go fast. So we're gonna get all bunched back up in line here. Couple cars coming down for a late pit. Trying to get themselves unlapped. That'd be Corey Buchanan and Tommy Thompson here. Tommy Thompson and Corey both involved in a couple little wrecks. Corey 3 laps down, Thompson 4 laps down. And Corey 1 lap down, sorry. Two. Sorry, I have a number that is always changing for these guys that I'm looking at. It looks like Corey is, yep, he is 2 laps down right now. I'm always looking at they don't give me laps down. They give me a total time down. They don't give me laps down, but they also give me laps completed in my data that I look at here. So I have to do 46.4 laps completed minus Corey's 44.3 laps completed and kind of, you know, get a number off of that. So sorry for the confusion sometimes. It's a little bit of math on the go. There's a lot of other brain activity going on with these fine folks racing here in the Octane Outlaws. Beautiful day though here in Atlanta. Nice sunny. Lights are out on the pace car, so I won't pop up our race infographic. Got our dashboard there of Miller, who leads us to start off stage 2. There we go. Miller has the jump. He's in front of the 54 and the 20 teammates there of Coffee and Wilson. And we have Blowers and Frazier. Right behind them, teammates, looks like. If they weren't teammates, I'd be very surprised with the same skin going on there. We are back to racing. Noah Miller trying to keep his Rebel number 8 up front. That's going to be hard when he has two teams pushing each other behind. Really trying to, work together to get out in front. 97 there of William Smith. Looking like he is creeping up 8 positions from where he started. Lily Frazier up 14. William Smith up 10. Noah Miller up 6. Moquin up 1 from where he started. Back down to 5th now. Coffee up 14. Blaine Wilson up 14. Some big losers of the day so far. Frederick Larson down 8. TJ Hanley down 11. Rodney Roberts down 9. Make that 10. I think Coffee and Wilson just like coming from the back of the field, having to run through a bunch of drivers, getting past them. I think it's fun for them, to have that little bit of a 0 to hero push, because they seem to do it each week. They're always starting in the back for whatever reason, and they make their way right up through the field to the front. And it looks like Blaine Wilson, Alex Coffey starting to set the trend of setting up high. Lily Frazier behind, Noah Miller behind Frazier, Heath behind Miller, and they're all running that high line. William Smith falling in behind. It looks like the only one is rookie Frederick Larson here. And TJ Hanley right there with him. Ooh, somebody touching the wall. Looks like number 5 of Moquin was touching the wall just ever so slightly. Moquin definitely going to be falling back for that. But you can see Larson and Handley are going to be running a little bit quicker than these guys running the high line, but their tires are going to fall off real quick. They're going to... Oh, no! Larson able to hold it. Wow! Handley gave just a little bit of a shove. Larson not sure how he was able to keep that one straight. Handley moves up, but Larson stays down low. That low line a little bit quicker, but high line less tire wear for sure. TJ Hanley back down on that inside line. Richard Kreuzer there with him in the number 90 Sopas Paint & Co. machine. We see, I mean, it's kind of weird. Like, these drivers seem to get a pretty big gap, and it's almost like the draft from Daytona. They seem to close that gap fairly quickly, and then they spread out again. They kind of accordion out and in and out and in. The front guys are a little bit more tightly packed, but these mid to farther back of this field, they are doing a little accordion action going on. Coffey, Wilson, Frazier, Miller, Heath, Hanley, all holding, if I could speak, all holding that high line. Hanley down low, though. Cleveland going to take that high pass. Getting, just that little bit of push from Moquin behind him. In the Wonder Bread machine, Mr. Cleveland. Let's take a look. Dakota Cleveland there. Hometown of Daytona Beach, Florida. He's an avid fisher. His normal livery is a fishing livery. You see a couple of those drivers down on the inside. Gonna be wearing those tires. They're gonna get hot quick. They're gonna wear quick. That high line's the way you want to be running right now. We see most of our drivers are up in that line. I mean, we're a lot of laps to go. Melbourne, Florida here. Noah Miller, another Florida guy. Florida man. Gotta watch out for those Florida men. They're crazy, be chasing down gators and such. The only thing that Noah Miller and Dakota Cleveland are chasing down is the man from Georgia, Alex Coffey. Currently sitting right up there in first. Blaine Wilson right behind him. Teammate gonna try and keep everybody behind the two of them. Except for maybe Kyle Heath. Kyle Heath, we want to get him up into the team action going on there. As Cleveland decides to go down to the inside, jumps in front of Hanley. He's gonna run that inside line for a few laps. Ooh, a little touch on the wall there. Is that Larson? Yes, it is. He touched the wall ever so slightly. And that's going to bring him back a little ways. Alex Coffey still up front. The black Interstate 54, followed by the green Interstate 20. Let's take a look through the field, though. Lily Frazier, rookie, number 71 Ford. Take a look at our drivers here. Rookie season here for Octane Outlaws, as it is everybody's rookie season. Noah Miller in number 8. Chevy there. Man from Melbourne. Kyle Heath, Gilbert, South Carolina. So he gets passed by Bobby Blowers there in number 34. Outlaws. That's a Ford that he's running. William Smith in a Ford as well in the 97. I believe he is a TH Designs. He might not be. Williams or TJ Hanley, definitely a TH Designs, as he is the owner of TH Designs out of Texas. Michael Moquin in number 5. That is a TH Designs car. Not sure if he's a TH Designs teammate. Ooh, and we do have somebody up into the wall there, maybe? Is it Dakota that's having a little bit of skipping around going? William Smith, Zachary Steele, Bobby Blowers went to nil. Bobby Blowers. That might have been Bobby Blowers that was having a little bit of an issue there. Looked like he was hitting the wall, but I think it's really just instead just a little bit of netcode and a little bit of flickering going on there from these guys. Florida is the place to be right now, says Kelly. Lisa says, get it, Dakota. Dakota is hanging in there. Had some unlucky races early on in the season. Had a fairly good result last week, I believe, was in the top 5, I want to say. I think he finished 4th, just out of the podium. And right now he's sitting in 9th. 9th/10th. But right in front of him, we're going 3 wide with Heath, William Smith, and TJ Hanley. Ooh, a little bump, little bump. Let's see if they can hold it 3 wide. This is a hard thing to do. And Cleveland, he just touches the wall ever so slightly. You don't want to do that. That's going to slow you down. Still with the group, though. Enough draft to get him back up to speed fairly quick. Z Larson made his way back into the group. He was one of those unfortunate souls that just touched the wall ever so slightly, slowed himself down. We're getting some good green flag racing here. I know I'm probably going to give it the commentator's curse, but great job here from the Octane Outlaws. We're going to take a look. Blaine Wilson has taken the lead here. Ooh, number 71 of Lily just touches the wall there. Lily having a hard time. Lily Frazier touched the wall a couple times. And on track, Wilson and Coffey still working together. It's probably a fuel strategy here from these two, if I had to guess. Uh-oh, and in the back we have... nobody? Maybe Noah... is it Noah Miller? Not sure what happened there. It says no. William Smith crashed. But I think he crashed. Like, he's gone. Where is he? William Smith? Oh, he's up here. Like, it was on the screen. We saw a pretty big smack into the wall or car collision or something. Let's see. Noah Miller suffered the worst of it. And this is Noah Miller here in number 8 that gets caught up in it. Not sure what happens. What was that? Wow. That's some crazy netcode. It looks like... I'm not gonna lie. It looked like William Smith dropped a bomb out of the back of his car and it hit the front of Noah Miller's car. Look at it from a different angle. He's just driving and all of a sudden just wham. Just boom. He doesn't have a front end anymore. We have a lot of guys pitting right now. We're going to see it from Noah Miller's view. It's up here in turn 3. All of a sudden, just boom, right in front of him. And he doesn't have a front bumper. Once again, we don't normally do these views just because they're not really... and just gone. And a little bit of the 18. I think some of it did have to do with William Smith and his netcode, because William Smith was doing some netcode and it dropped a bunch of, like, we'll say quote unquote debris from like a wreck, as though it smacked the wall. But we'll do one more look at it as we're coming back to live. And the lights are out, so we won't look at it anymore. We got 19 laps until our next stage, which is lap 90 here. Kyle Heath, though, is our leader out of the pits. Bobby Blowers in second. TJ Hanley in third. Lily Frazier fourth. Will Smith in fifth. Larson in sixth. Moquin in seventh. Dakota Cleveland in eighth. Noah Miller ninth. Blaine Wilson 10th. That is our current running order as of right now. And we are green again. Kyle Heath getting a pretty good jump here on number 71 of Lily Frazier. Bobby Blowers getting a better jump, I think. So Heath might be under some pressure from Frazier and Blowers' teammates here. And TJ Hanley is going to be pushing up behind as well. We're going to take a look at our pit strategies here. Top 8 have all pit in the last couple laps here. all the way down to Coffee, Kreuzer, Larson, Wilson. Everybody is pit on that caution lap. So we should see, probably, unless we get another caution, at least going all the way to the last yellow for a pit stop. And this is where we're going to start seeing where the strategies start to separate, or start to come together at the end of the race here as to who's where and who's going to have better position just on strategy alone, and how it played out with cautions and stages and such. Ooh, some touch of the wall there from number 54, it looks like. No, that is number 34 of Bobby Blowers. Just a little bit of wall touch there. We don't want to see too many of those. Ooh, and again, there we go. The 08 of Hanley is around. We're going to have another caution. And here we go. Caution number 7. I jinxed it. I know I jinxed it. Don't gotta tell me. I'm sorry. I said something about it and it happened. Somehow Dakota Cleland found his way through that mess and got up into first place there. The Wonder Bread making wonders happen. Let's see what happened here. Jump on back. TJ Hanley was the one that got into it. Let's see if we can't find a spot that's a pretty good... spot here. Yep, TJ Hanley in the 08 there, you see. Oh, number 5 of Oakland just touches his back quarter panel and that turns him around. Larson involved. Oh, trying not to slide down the ramp there, down the apron. Number 18 Mull also involved. Looks like Larson, oh, he had to reset. Looks like he couldn't get going again. He's in the pit lane. Going to be using his fast repair if he has not already. But as of right now, somehow Cleland got through. Let's watch Cleland. He was getting pushed from the inside line when that all happened. So Cleland just naturally got up there. Running very well here at Atlanta. We're loving to see this this new Wonder Bread skin working for him here. If we go to pit strategy, yeah, he pit with everybody else there. Cleland right there on that same pit strategy as, you know, most of the top of the field at least. So they're all running within the same pit strategy. And Larson is reporting as out of the race. Looks like Potts is also reporting as... Nope, he's back on track. Zachary Steele. Looks like he is out of the race. Guimond still in. George Buck still in. Rodney Roberts in. No, Rodney Roberts is also out of the race. Mitrovic's here. Yellow flag being held up here by our trusty flag waver. Yeah, Larson not on track anymore. Dakota Cleland is going to have our start of the race. And Dakota's hoping that some of his teammates can get up there to help him. Richard Kreuzer back in the 90 machine. I'm not sure if Richard is on the team with them. Believe he is. The Richard teammate a few cars back. He would love for Corey to get on up there. The 19 machine help him out. Patrick Mitrovic's in the middle of the field there. He's a few laps down. Only 6 laps down. He was, I want to say, more at one point. We'll take our pit strategy. Looks like Heath got a quick pit stop in there in 8th place. Might have just topped off a little bit of fuel, gotten him himself a little farther into a pit stop window for later in the race. pace car is in. Cleveland has the green whenever he so chooses. Dakota's on it. He gets a pretty good jump there on the two teammates of Alex Coffey and Blaine Wilson. He is going to have a about 3 car length jump. Let's see if he stays low or if he goes high. Lily Frazier gets a little bit of draft there from the cars in front of him. And he does take second place. Going to be coming up way fast on Cleveland. And Cleveland's just going to get overtaken by Lily. Getting a great jump with the draft. And Cleveland's just going to get... Oh, wow. Moquin almost get a little bit of a big reaction there. Moquin, you don't want to react too much to a car being there. Cleveland down a few positions. He's still up 9 from where he started. Lily Frazier up 14. Bobby Blowers up 1. Blaine Wilson up 17. It's looking like Lily Frazier, our newcomer to Octane Outlaws, has a pretty good shot at winning stage 2 here. We are currently on lap 79, or on lap 80, sorry. Completed 79 laps. So we're going to be coming up to lap number 90 here in 10 laps. And at that point, we will see somebody get crowned stage 2 winner. Blaine Wilson does find his way up with Alex Coffey on that high line once again, trying to conserve tires a little bit here until the end of the race. Something to keep in mind, these drivers are going to probably have to stop 5 times for fuel, 4 to 5, depending on fuel saving and, you know, where you're running in the pack. And on top of that, they only have 3 sets of tires, so they're going to have to stay out on a set of tires or put an old set back on. As I see Mitrovic, so it's just a little bumping going on there between Mitrovic and Raymond Mall. I saw a little notification say that there was something going on there. Yeah, Mitrovic again, another 0x. And teammates on the outside, teammates on the inside. Number 34 and 71 gonna work together. The number 20 and the number 54 are going to work together. TJ Hanley right behind number 34, Bobby Blowers. He is going to try and get in on this team action here. And everybody's pushing to get to that stage. They want to be first coming into the last part of the race. That's a huge advantage when you start out front. It's one thing to start out front in, you know, the middle of the race, somewhere farther earlier on in the race, but they have that last stint. You're the one out front. That's where you want to be. Ooh, a little bit of sliding going on there. Might have been from number 71 on the inside. Lily Frazier is just throwing that car wherever they want to. And being a new driver, I did not know Lily Frazier was going to be here, so I did not ask if Lily was a girl or if Lily was a guy, or if it's just the name on the account for iRacing. So we'll find out and we'll get to you. You see Blowers falling back a little bit. That low line proving to not be working so well later on in the race. You probably want to be on more of a midline. Looks like Lily's going to go up to more of a midline there. That outside line working very well for Coffey and Wilson. And look at this, though. Patrick Mitrovic, he is down. Patrick Mitrovic, he was down 6 laps. He is trying to unlap himself right now from the leaders. as Mitrovic does take that inside line. He's leading the inside line, being 5 laps down currently. Funny enough. And it's just crazy. Some of these guys are probably going to be complaining about the blinking. It looks like William Smith is the one that is blinking. We've seen this week in and week out for William. He just has that little bit of a blink. Ooh, and Mitrovic gets off the line ever so slightly, and Lily Frazier is able to get around him. Moquin able to drop in as well in front. Moquin running in third, currently on the front end of that inside line. Lily Frazier trying to push. Mitrovic behind Frazier trying to push as well. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to catch Blaine Wilson and Alex Coffey as long as... Ooh, hand Dakota Cleveland there. Cleveland up into fourth again, or third. Excuse me. Going to be fighting Michael Moquin, or Moquin, sorry. Staying high on that line. Looks like Coffey and Wilson are going to swap spots. Coffey going down low, getting that fuel strategy. They might just be trying to control the caution here, and they do. Blaine Wilson comes across. Cleveland on the outside, though, might have gotten second for the end of the stage 2 caution. Cleveland was close there. Not quite sure if he got second or if he got third for our restart. He'd like to be on that first line, get himself established on the outside and have somebody push him. But Wilson and Coffey really want that pace car again, just right on by. Cleveland doing a fantastic job here, folks. The pace car just comes flying by. It's hilarious to me. Pace car goes 40 miles an hour most of the time, 50 miles an hour, and then to catch up, it's going 200 miles an hour. It's just crazy. Blaine Wilson down, Coffey, Cleveland, Moquin, Mull, Lilly, Frazier, Blowers, Handley, Heath, William Smith, Corey Buchanan, Richard Kreuzer, Tommy Thompson, Patrick Mitrovic. George Buck is going to stay out, try and get himself unlapped. Guys are 7 laps down for Buck, and Patrick Mitrovic is 6 laps down again now. Oygaard, Larson out, Rodney Roberts out, Guimond in the pits, Steele out, Potts somehow still in this race. He's only completed 56 laps. I'm not even sure if he completed the entire rest of the race. I guess he'd jump up to 17th. But I think that would be the only spot he'd be able to gain, is to get in front of Larson, who has completed 74 laps. We have another 45 to go. Potts is on 56, so I guess he could get up to 101 laps completed. Maybe just even at 100. And then that would make it... He'd be able to get ahead of anybody else that wrecks out at this point on. 71 is a girl. Lily Frazier is actually a girl. So Lily, I will start calling you she, if that's all right. Moquin leading us, though. Great pit stop by him. Mull in second. Great pit stop by Mull. Doesn't look like anybody has any black flags for being in the pit lane too fast, except for Guimond, and he is not on the main lap. He is 19th, and he is only 69 laps into the race. So he's probably going to be done. We don't have any info on Frazier's hometown or home state. Moquin, another Florida man. A lot of Florida man going on around here. Jacksonville for this young fellow. Number 5 machine. Gonna lead us to our third stage and get our end of the race hopefully underway. I believe Lily Frazier was brought in by Bobby Blowers from another league. We always like to see new faces here, fill out the grid and get some good racing. As Moquin's going to lead us, he gets a pretty good jump here. Not going to be able to break the toe, however. Blaine Wilson, Raymond Mull right behind him. Coffee right behind him. I wonder how much of that strategy to have Coffee right behind Wilson. Right out of the gates. And they jump out front really quickly. Once again, on that high line, keeping the speed up. And Lily Frazier going to be right there. Right in the draft. I mean, the Coffee and Wilson pushing hard, but Frazier right there with them. Going to stay in the draft on that high, faster line. Less friction on those tires. Less heat on those tires. Raymond Mull having a little bit of a hard time on track. He's flickering and flashing around. You don't want to be blinking when you're racing for a potential win here, Raymond. Hopefully he can get that under control. Blaine Wilson, though. We saw Coffee leading for a while. We saw Wilson leading for a while. They're pushing each other. You know, swapping out saves fuel. You know, only so much, though. These drivers really pushing. And it does not seem that Wilson and Coffee are going to be able to break away from any of the drivers behind them. And I heard a couple drivers complaining about how close some of the other drivers were, not really complaining, but just saying how close the drivers are able to get to the wall without bumping the wall. As you see Cleland way up there, you see Lily way up there. Those guys that are able to get closer to that wall, the drivers that can, you know, cut it very fine, are the drivers that are going to be able to just keep that speed up. And then, like I said, I've said it multiple times, keep the tire wear and tire temps down. That just is, you know, preserving the longevity of your car and your tires for the race. The only risk you take is, you know, rubbing the right side of your car on the wall, slowing yourself down, maybe getting into a wreck because of it. But if you can learn how to run that high line, run that faster line, in some cases, then you're going to have a better time. As we see all of our leaders up in that high line. The low line, nobody can get really too much closer. Corey Buchanan on the low line, leading with Dakota Cleland right behind him. Corey Buchanan, he's on the main lap. Gonna see if this low line can do anything to fight off the high line. Corey Buchanan teammates with Dakota Cleland in the number 11 right behind him. He's hoping Dakota can get right up behind him and give him a push. It's harder to do on the low line than it is the high line, and Dakota is gonna give Buchanan a push. Buchanan all the way up to 5th. They are making it work. Only 40 or 35 laps to go here once they cross the line. And this would be a great finish if they can keep this going for the admin team. I think their team name is called Sip and Smoke. I told you I would figure it out last week, and I didn't quite. But I think it's Sip and Smoke Racing. And they are getting closer and closer. The inside line proving that it might be able to do something now. Corey Buchanan He's got to get his partner there, though. He's got to get Dakota to give him a push. Blaine Wilson, Coffee doing well on the outside. Frazier right behind them trying to help push. And you can see every so often it just, that inside line, if you're not getting that push from your partner behind you, then you fall back. Corey Buchanan falls back to 6th. Dakota in 8th. They're close, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get much closer than where they're at. Unless they hop in that high line and, you know, conserve some of their tire life. Blaine Wilson up front still going to be taking majority of that wind, and that's going to, you know, just make him eat a little bit more fuel than his teammate behind him. So I would only expect Alex and Blaine to switch at some point here in the next like 10 to 15 laps. Have Coffee eat some of the headwind that he's getting. And then with him eating some of the headwind, that'll give Blaine Wilson a little bit of fuel consumption saving. As Corey Buchanan does get a great push here from Dakota Cleland. Cleland has Buchanan up into 3rd right now. Here we go. The inside line starting to work for the Wonder Bread. And the Cyberpunk of Corey and Dakota. You see, they get a good push, and then they fall back, and then they get a good push, then they fall back. They just got to get that good push at the right time. As we see, Corey Buchanan, he is in 2nd. He might catch up to Blaine Wilson here by the end of the back straight, and it looks like a good push might do it. And Corey is into 1st there. Dakota right behind him. And we'll see if the Wonder Bread can slingshot to victory here with 25 laps or 20 laps, 30 laps. Oh, my brain. Just melting out of my ears today. My brain is not working. Sorry, folks. Blaine Wilson still leading. 30 laps to go here at Atlanta for the Empire of the South 200. And we have team battles going on. It's not just single cars, it's teams. We have Blaine Wilson, Alex Coffey, Kyle Heath in the number 53. Lily Frazier, number 71, and Bobby Blowers in number 34. Then we have Corey Buchanan and Dakota Cleland in the number 11 and number 19 cars on the inside line. Oh, and a touch on the wall. That might slow the outside guys down just a little bit. Give Corey Buchanan and Dakota Cleland a little bit of an advantage here. As we see our field of about 11, 12 drivers, looks like 12 drivers really pushing each other, all staying together. It's almost like staying in the draft at Daytona, but just a little bit different. And these drivers are going to have to stop for tires, more likely for fuel, though. So we'll see if anybody takes a 2-tire stop, if somebody takes a full tire stop. It's going to come down to strategy and how much they can make a 2-tire stop work compared to a 4-tire stop. And if it's worth it, Blaine and Coffee and those guys and girls running up on that outside line might be able to take a 2-tire and get away with it, whereas on the inside line they're probably going to have to take a 4-tire to get themselves to the end of the race here without losing a substantial amount of grip and a substantial amount of time off the clock. As Buchanan, once again, another good push right at the right time here, coming to the line. And we know, you can see that outside line, those drivers holding really steady, holding really well with Coffey and Wilson and Frazier, but the inside line, they're trying, they're not going to go away. Buchanan, Cleland, and Hanley now in the mix behind, and the T Designs 08, he's going to be pushing as well. Try and see if he can't find a way around these guys. Ooh, a little blinking going on there from Lily Frazier. And it has been just absolutely dominant here, though, from Wilson and Coffey. They haven't pulled away. I will say that. They haven't pulled away. Oh no. Ooh, Cleveland gets a little bit of a tap from TJ Hanley. Hanley trying to make it a 3-car push there on the inside line, but you don't do that when you're going up and down on the apron. You really don't want to do that. Mitrovic gets out of the way. He knows this isn't his race. 25 laps to go here at, I almost said Road Atlanta, at Atlanta Speedway. And they're going to have the advantage on the inside, Buchanan and Cleveland. If they can make these tires last and make this fuel load last, they're going to have the advantage on the inside. And they're going to be able to make this work, I think. We've seen slower pit entries and slower, releases for Alex Coffey and Blaine Wilson. Even Kyle Heath there. We've seen a lot of cars get ahead of them during the pit stops. But if we look at our pit strategy, everybody is 22 laps in on their tires. Everybody essentially is going to have to pit at the same time. Somebody can try and go for the early pit and go for a little bit of an undercut, which it seems that's worked a few times here. But the overcut, I'm not sure at Atlanta. It could be different. Each track is different. It's something that you have to really, really test out and see in practice. We'll see if these drivers have done that. Yep, Kelly, they are all going to need fuel. About 30 laps of fuel is what they will each have in the tank. We started our stint here with 45 laps to go. So with about 15 laps to go, maybe 16, we'll start seeing some of those cars come in. Maybe even at the 17 lap, just to, make sure they have enough. But I could see, a couple of these cars like, Corey Buchanan, Dakota Cleveland slowing down a little bit right here. They might be pulling into the pit lane, since they are starting to have a little bit of trouble with those tires. They might want to just get, not necessarily newer tires, but just cooler tires in, because they have fallen back, and Noah Miller is going to be right there to pick up the pieces and get in front of Corey. And that inside line now falling off. Outside line is going to be dominant here. This is where that tire life comes into play for Wilson and Coffey. But I do agree, Kelly. Great concentration from everybody here in the field. So anybody watching back, chef's kiss. You guys are doing fantastic. This is a racing we like to see. A couple incidents, early on. We obviously have our stage cautions, which play into our caution number. But I think other than stage cautions, we've only had 4. That's not too bad. And right now, Wilson gaining a little bit of time on Coffey, but like I said, everybody's going to have to start coming in around the 16, 17, and we do have Corey Buchanan and Dakota Cleveland in. Looks like they are taking all 4 tires. And we're going to pay attention here to Blaine Wilson and Alex Coffey to see what they do with their tires. And there we go. They are going by. Buchanan out. Stop time 14.6 for Dakota Cleveland, 15.7 for Corey Buchanan. Remember those numbers, 14.6, 15.7. We're going to see how our drivers here up in the front, when they have to come in about within 3 laps, what they end up doing. As we see a couple lapped cars kind of getting in the way here. Moquin, I don't know if he's spun out or something happened. Moquin was running up front with a lot of these drivers, but he's now 2 laps down. Wilson, though, on the outside there, getting by George Buck. Somebody touching the wall. Corey Buchanan coming out. Dakota Cleveland there with him. Not far behind. And we still haven't pit yet. 16 to go. Leaders trying to get as much space in between them and Buchanan and Cleveland as they possibly can before they pit. And this is where that over-under overcut and undercut really matter. If they're coming out by themselves, Dakota and Corey are going to have a harder time getting up to the same speed that these guys are currently at. That's why everybody's kind of holding on, pit as late as you can. Thing is, if Corey and Dakota can get together, looks like William Smith there too. If they can all get together and push each other, Michael Moquin as well, then they're going to have a good time. Michael Moquin, did he pit? Can't see because he is in 13th, but Moquin might have had an early pit strategy that put him way out front. And he might win this race if he's already pit and has enough fuel to go to the end. He might win. He is caught up with the field. He's on the same lap as Cleland and Buchanan, who have also already pit. We're really cutting it close here on how many laps these drivers can go on this full tank of fuel. I would only expect they have to go, you know, in the next lap or two if they're going to make it to the end of this race. They're pushing this fuel load as far as it really is able to go. Maybe hoping for a caution to be able to get that fuel. Maybe hoping for TJ Hanley, Noah Miller, and Richard Kreuzer in. George Buck, David Guymond in. We're going to take some looks at their pit stop times. And here we go, down in. It is a mad dash. Looks like Lily's going to get a black flag. That's going to kill Lily's race. Everybody else able to get in. Pit stop 15.3 for Noah Miller. TJ Hanley pit stop 7.4. He only took 2 tires. George Buck 15.7, David Guymon 21.5. We're going to look at Blaine Wilson here. Blaine Wilson and Alex Coffey 8.3 and 8.0. They are running on all 4 tires that have been on that car for quite some time. Bobby Blowers 9.7. And Lily, Lily is going to have to stay in. Lily Frazier is going to have to serve a penalty. Looks like Raymond Mull might also. Raymond Mull, nope, 15 seconds. He's back out. Corey Buchanan, here they come. Buchanan and Cleland coming up to the same lap as Blaine Wilson and Alex Coffey. This is going to be close, folks. 12 laps to go, and we have Cleland and Buchanan working together to try and push up to Blaine Wilson and Alex Coffey, Kyle Heath. Bobby Blowers out there as well. They're all on old tires. They're going to try and make those tires work. Buchanan and Dakota Cleland, they are pushing as well. They are about 14 seconds back, but they're gaining on leaders. They will have to gain over a second per lap to be able to get up to them. I'm not sure if they have that much speed in them with those new tires, but we're going to keep an eye on them. We see 14 seconds on our graphic there, Buchanan and Cleland. We need that to come down by a second a lap. We're going to see all that made up in the corners. Here we go. Noah Miller as well. Noah Miller might be helping out. It looks like, ooh, yeah, a little bit of a bump. They need to really push here. Blaine Wilson, Alex Coffey, Kyle Heath, Bobby Blowers. They're going to be struggling with those tires that are on the car. Those tires are not going to be liking what's going on. They're going to be hot. You're going to be having a hard time. TJ Hanley took 2 tires, those outside 2. He is only 7 seconds back, and he is actually losing time because he is not in a slipstream. He is not in a pack. So TJ Hanley kind of left out to dry. Richard Kreuzer doing his thing, but Corey Buchanan, Cleland Miller working together here. They are 12 seconds back now. 12 seconds back. I'm not so sure unless there's a severe drop-off that Cleland and Buchanan and Miller can get up to the leaders with their fresh 4 tires. Eight laps to go. That gap coming down every set of turns here, but will it pay off for Cleland and Buchanan? This pack of 4 cars Really running hot. Hanley kind of out in no man's land as we see Kreuzer, Buchanan, Cleveland, Miller all pushing, trying to get in. And Mull coming in to serve his penalty there. Looks like he's going to get a... Nope, he did not slide too fast in. We're down to 11 seconds. Kreuzer, Buchanan, Cleveland, all teammates. Let's see if they can work together here. Kreuzer might fall in behind and just try and get pulled to a little bit higher of a finish than he's had in the past couple races. He's had some bad luck when it comes to his finishes. Buchanan goes on the outside, gets up above TJ Handley, and they take that position really quickly. They need to make up those positions fast, though. 6 laps to go. I don't think they're going to have it in them. Wilson, Coffey, Heath, and Blowers. You know, you never know what's going to happen at the end of this race. Wilson, Coffey, and Heath all going to, you know, probably play nice and fair. But Blowers, he is the lone teammate up there. He really wants to try and put a dent in the team that is running 1, 2, 3 right now. And I say dent figuratively and literally. You might want to give a little bit of a bump to Heath. You know, do a little bit of a bump and run. Try and get the same thing done on Coffey and Wilson. 4 laps to go. That gap coming down. It's a shame that they have so far to go. 9 seconds for Buchanan. And these drivers running on that high line just seem to be running lap after lap like there's no fall off here. Buchanan getting down to almost 9.5 seconds. I don't think they're going to have enough at this point. Wilson comes across the line. 3 to go. Coffey pushing. Let's look back at Buchanan. We have Buchanan getting a push from Cleveland. And Miller behind Cleveland, trying to give him the push to give to Buchanan. So they're all working together. 4 cars working on another 4 cars. These guys took the tires. These 4 didn't take tires. With only 15 laps to go, I'm not so sure that that was the strategy. I think 2 tires would have been the better way to go. TJ Handley proves that if you're the only one to take 2 tires, that's not the way to go. But I think that might have been the way to go to try and get a little bit more time. Only take a 7 to 8 second pit stop and then get moving again. I thought Heath was on a team with them. Maybe I am mistaken? Question mark? Either way, I know Wilson and Coffey definitely are. We'll be talking to some of these drivers out on track when this thing all comes to an end, as we're on the final lap. Ooh, and we do have a couple teammates getting together there. Heath, Coffey now back in 3rd. Bobby Blowers not happy about it. Heath, what? That was a huge block as we have Buchanan coming around. Wilson's going to take the win unless Kyle Heath does anything. But Blowers gets around Alex Coffey. Buchanan, Coffey's going to finish 4th. Buchanan not far behind him, though. But Cleveland finishing 6th. Noah Miller 7th. Hanley 8th. Kreuzer coming across in 9th. Mull in 10th. And Moquin in 11th. Will Smith 12th. Lily Frazier. First race was doing so well. Just had that little bit of an issue coming into the pits. A little hot. And just had to serve a 40-second time penalty. That's the iRacing standard for speeding in the pits. And we come to our man of the hour, Wilson, doing some burnouts here. Fantastic racing from all the drivers, but Wilson and Heath really putting on a clinic on how to save those tires, make them work for as long as possible, and make them get right to the end. as we pop up the results of our race. I'm not sure why that's still up. Octane Outlaws Week 7 is over. Blaine Wilson taking first, Kyle Heath taking second. Bobby Blowers takes third from Alex Coffey, who was running in second there right behind his teammate. Corey Buchanan in fifth, Dakota Cleland in sixth, Noah Miller in seventh, TJ Hanley takes eighth, Richard Kreuzer takes ninth, Raymond Mull Sr. in 10th, Michael Moquin in 11th, William Smith in 12th, Lee Frazier takes 13th, Tommy Thompson in 14th, Patrick Mitrovic in 15th, George Buck in 16th, David Guiman in 17th, Justin Potts in 18th. And as we scroll, well, maybe Frederick Larson in 19th, Rodney Robertson 20th, Zachary Steele 21st, and Keith Ramsey, who registered but never ended up racing, technically gets 22nd. We have interviews. Let's see if these drivers are ready to get called up into the booth for an interview. We'll start with our winner of the race, Blaine Wilson. Blaine, do we have you down there in the car?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic drive there from you and the team. You guys, went with the no tire strategy at the end. You guys got a little bit of a gap, and that seemed to be enough to hold off a very hard charging Dakota Cleland, Corey Buchanan, Noah Miller, and TJ Hanley. They were all getting real close at the end there. But the gap was enough to, keep you guys within about 7 seconds of where they were. Who made that strategy call, and, what led you to that decision?
It was really just the lap that I was going to run out of fuel. I said, especially being the leader, you run out of fuel first with the clean air. And so I said, I need to pit this lap. So we pit that lap, and that was it.
What made you decide to not take tires and to just keep on out there with what you guys had, or not take tires, just take fuel? Because a lot of the other cars around you took 2 tires or took 4.
Yeah, you take tires, you're just giving up too much time. That length of pit stop, just put tires on, that's going to put you, 5 seconds in the pits extra translates to 5 seconds on track or more. And that's huge. That's a huge thing to try to make up. So definitely want to take no tires under like a green flag stop. You can drive it just fine. It's a lot tighter with the worn tires, but drive it just fine and you'll be good to go.
Well, that is awesome to hear. You guys had that strategy locked down. We definitely were watching, like I said, some of the guys that did take tires, just really pushing to try and catch up to you guys. That high line seemed to be the spot to be the entire race. You and Alex Coffey were swapping spots every so often. Was there strategy in who was going to eat the dirty air in front, or was there just, whoever was there was there?
We did one swap, I think on the first or second stage, can't even remember, to try to even out our fuel levels, just in case we had to do a green flag stop. But besides that, it was just whoever was there. And at the end of the second stage, I was there, and he tried to pass me on that last lap for the stage 2, but didn't work out. And that's just the power of the outside lane. You can come down on the bottom lane, side draft them, especially with how tight the cars get when the tires wear. If you can trap somebody down there, they have to lift extra hard to not push up into you and wreck. So side drafting and a combination of trapping them down there, it's just a lot more freedom up there on that top lane.
Yep. Yeah, we saw a lot more success from the top lane drivers today. Some of the lower ones, like you said, they just kind of got trapped down there and had to lift a little bit more. They'd get close, and then they'd have to, we saw almost an accordion effect going on there. They'd get up near you and then come back, and then get up near you and have to drop back a little bit. So, great strategy, and just knowing the aerodynamics of the cars and how everything's playing out on that low line to be able to control that race. But Blaine, we'll let you go. Great win again here at Atlanta. Any shout outs that you want to give before I let you go?
Yeah, big shout out to Alex, teammate. These types of tracks, super speedway racing, it requires so much communication and teamwork pays off more than anything in terms of drafting, side drafting, when to pit, working together. That's why at least I'm here. I know he had looks like he got wrecked on the last lap by a Ford out there. So we'll watch that back later. Don't know what was going on there. He should be at least second, I think. But he'll be back next week too. So we're gonna go out there and keep dominating. Keep talking to you every week.
Yep, yeah, we hope to see you. I believe our next race, let me just double check it, but I believe our next race is Chicago Road Course. So that is going to be a little bit of a wrench thrown in the system. But yeah, that's going to be another fun one to watch. Obviously cautions are always a little bit more prevalent in the road courses. Are you a road course guy, or are we not going to see you again up in the booth next week?
Well, um, I'm not a road course professional by any means. Chicago street course, I happen to enjoy, but I'll just say you'll definitely be talking to Alex next week. Probably as the leader there, he just loves that road course and he does very well there. So we'll keep it clean. We'll practice a little bit, but that's a ton of fun to race. So I'll go out there and have as much fun as I can.
All right, Blaine. Well, it was a pleasure to watch you guys. We'll see you again next week in Chicago. Until then, you and the teammates get a celebration, and we'll catch you again up here in the booth, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks for the broadcast. I'll see you next week.
All right, now we're going to move on to, we have Kyle Heath finishing in second. Kyle, great race. Second place finish there. You're running up front with that front group. Only took fuel at the end rather than any tires. You lost about 2 to 3/4 of the field who took tires and dropped back a little too far. You four were running up high on that high line for a lot of the race. What was going on with that strategy? What did you like about running up high with the top 3 drivers there?
Well, I knew those 2 guys were going to be the top of the field tonight. They're a pretty strong team, and I was just trying my best just to stay up there. I got caught up in the incident early on, and I saved my fast repair just in case I need it. But I never used it. The last stop, I just like you said, I just took fuel only. I just stayed with the top 3. Damn near wiped it out coming in for that last stop. But luckily, I was able to gather it up and didn't miss the cone.
Yep, yeah, we saw, it must have been you that was sliding in with a little extra speed there, almost took out the cone, and it was almost a 4 wide coming into the pits. It was quite crazy with the top 4, and then, another 4 coming in behind you guys that ended up taking tires a little earlier that were trying to catch you guys. So it was quite a run there at the end. It looks like you ended up getting by Coffee and Bobby Blowers there. Take me through that. Like, what happened there? It looked like they might have gotten together. Was there any contact with you during that whole time?
Yeah, early on during the race when we had a longer green flag run, I noticed where a couple cars were in front of me, and I decided just to try something out, and I got a good run on the front stretch and dove it down low in 1 and 2, and was able to slide up in front of 2 cars. Actually, I made 2 passes in 1 turn, and I tried that, but it just didn't prevail because my right front was pretty much already worn, and it's real hard to be down low with worn tires, and because you really have to get off the throttle that way you don't push up into people on the outside of you. And I tried it one time and I pushed up into Coffee a little bit, but no harm, no foul. So I tried it again, and I think the closing speed of the car behind us and our losing speed a little bit with Coffee, a little bit of bump happened between them 2, and I think that Coffee ended up kind of sideswiping me a little bit and causing him to extra correct it into the outside wall, which lost his third place finish spot. But all in all, I mean, it was a good race.
Yep, yeah, it was fun to watch the end there. A little bit of position swapping for the top 4 of you there, and like you said, you ended up taking the second place after a little bit of bumping. But yeah, like you said, no harm, no foul. There was a little bit of chippiness at the end, but that's okay. We've been racing a long time here tonight, and everybody wants to get on that podium. Everybody wants to get that win, and things just things play out on the last lap. But Kyle, do you have anybody that you want to give a shout out to before we let you go for the night?
Yeah, shout out to the league. I mean, pretty fun league to come in on Friday nights. Usually when I have the time to really come in here. I'm hoping I'll be able to make it next week, which I'm kind of nervous about next week because it's Chicago street course.
Yep.
I'm not too fond of that track.
Yeah, it's there's not a whole lot of room for error at Chicago street course. I mean, Watkins Glen, you can run wide, you can might be able to go up on a curb a bit. Chicago street course, just if you mess up, there's a wall.
Yeah, and sometimes the way the street course is, I know there's one section and the road is kind of really rough, and these cars don't like rough roads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the Chicago roads there for you, but we'll let you go tonight there, Kyle. We'll hopefully see you again next week at Chicago, and hopefully talk to you again up here on the podium.
Yes, sir.
You have a good night. All right, now our third place driver, Bobby Blowers. Bobby, I want to make sure I'm saying your name right. Is it Blowers?
Actually, it's Blowers, but you're
okay.
You're fine.
Okay. Blowers. Okay. So I thought it was Blowers at first, and then I corrected myself, and I must have overcorrected. But third place here tonight at Atlanta. Great race there. You were running, fantastic the whole race. And a little bit of contact there at the end, but you ended up taking third. You and Coffee getting together. What happened there? Looked like you might have had a little bit more speed closing in on him than he had realized, and just a little bumping going on.
Yeah, it was just go time. I was really trying to get Coffee clear to Heath there off of 2 if I could, but I just decided to commit to it a little too early, and I apologize to Coffee. I did not mean to do that whatsoever. It's just go time, I'm trying to get up there and do what I can, but yeah, I didn't want that to happen whatsoever. I was really hoping to get them clear, get up to third, and maybe see if Wilson and Coffee were going to fight for it or not, but if maybe I had a shot to do something then, but yeah, I feel bad for him. I did not mean to do that.
Yeah, Heath was right there with you. Just a lot of differing speeds there, but all in all, I mean, Coffee still takes fourth. Last lap, like you said, it's go time at that point. You're trying to make something happen, so all's fair in love and war, and everybody will come back out in Chicago in a week's time, and really see the road course, not only road course but street course skills at work. How are you feeling at Chicago for next week?
I have a little experience there. I ran a couple of officials when it was official earlier in the year, or early last year now, I guess. But had a couple good runs there in officials, but I haven't ran it in probably 6 months, so probably have to put in a little practice this week.
Yep, yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be throwing down as many laps as they can just to get used to the road course. Like I said, not even road course, street course, just because it's so much different than these mile and a halves and even the short tracks. So we'll be seeing a lot of practice sessions going up and a lot of laps being run by these drivers. But in the meantime, Bobby, go and celebrate podium. And do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Orlando Outlaws, eMotorsports, 213simware.com, and Lily Frazier for coming out tonight and being my teammate. I really wish she didn't have that little speeding penalty there on the last green flag stop, because she would have been right there with us.
Yep, yeah, we were hoping for a team fight there. We saw you guys running the same paints on the front hood at least, so we figured you guys were being teammates, and yeah, just coming in a little bit too hot into the pits, and that set her back with a penalty. But yeah, we were looking forward to a Wilson Heath versus Blowers and Frazier going at it kind of fight, with Heath kind of thrown in there. So it would have been fun for us all to watch. But if Lily comes on out any future weeks, that'd be great to see. She was a great driver to watch, and obviously a great teammate to have, being running up there with you.
Yeah, for sure.
But we'll leave you at that, Bobby. You have a good celebration here with your team, and we will catch you hopefully on the podium again here in Chicago.
Yeah, gonna give it what I got. Thank you.
All right, and that's going to conclude week 7 here at the Octane Outlaws. Atlanta Motor Speedway. What a race. Blaine Wilson, Cal Heath taking 1-2, Bobby Blowers in 3rd, Alex Coffey 4th, Corey Buchanan 5th, Dakota Cleveland 6th, Noah Miller 7th, TJ Hanley 8th, Richard Kreuzer 9th, Raymond Mull Sr. in 10th, Michael Moquin in 11th, William Smith in 12th, Lily Frazier, newcomer in 13th, Tommy Thompson 14th, Patrick Mitrovic's coming across the line in 15th, George Buck 16th, David Guimond in 17th, Justin Potts in 18th. And as we go down, Frederick Larson in 19th, Rodney Roberts 20th, Zachary Steele 21st, and Keith Ramsey in 22nd. And that will wrap us up. Kelly hearing the baby in the background again. That's our little man, Luca. He is, once again, he's only a couple months old. And tomorrow is our little girl, Lily, her 2nd birthday. So I'm giving a little shout out myself to Liliana. We'll be celebrating a big number 2 for her. So we love you, Lily, and we will see you guys in the Octane Outlaws a week from today in Chicago road course. Good night, everybody.